A Clockwork Orange is a film about the conflict between individual free will and state control. And to my mind, that's what licenses the violence that the film contains. It is a moral message about the dangers of the state adopting violence and not just the bully boys on the street.
I heard talk in the 1960s of the possibility of getting these young thugs and not putting them in jail, because jails were needed for professional criminals, but rather putting them through a course of conditioning, turning them, in effect, into Clockwork Oranges. No longer organisms full of sweetness and colour and light like oranges, but machines.
Kubrick read the American version of Clockwork Orange, and the final chapter was omitted. And in the English edition, the final chapter is about Alex deciding voluntarily to abandon evil, to put away his toys, as he puts it, and to become a good citizen. And for Burgess, that's the point of the novel, that we have free will, and it is a morality tale about free will.
Crucially, the copy of the book that I had the final chapter on, in which, at the end, Alex kind of wanders around a shopping mall and it's Christmas and he grows up and he realises that he doesn't want to have a fight with anyone anyway. So probably the most profound difference between the book and the film is that the film ends at the wrong point.
To Burgess, this was part of the integrity of the novel. He believed that violence is something that everybody goes through as a teenager, or young men anyway go through, but grow out of. And he felt that Kubrick didn't show the growing out of bit, the adult bit. And Alex becomes an adult at the end and discards the past, and we don't see that in the movie, and that Burgess couldn't forgive Kubrick for.
You're absolutely right, sir.
Shut your bleeding hole!
Who said that? I did, sir.
What crime did you commit?
The accidental killing of a person, sir.
He brutally murdered a woman, sir, in furtherance of theft. 14 years, sir!
Excellent. He's enterprising, aggressive, outgoing, young, bold, vicious. He'll do.
When Alex is effectively lobotomized, becomes a Clockwork Orange, we are meant to condemn the state in the same way as we would condemn Alex for being a thug at the beginning of the movie. But Burgess's intent was different. I think he wanted to show how someone can become good voluntarily by an exercise of his own free will.
You remember in the film when the padre, the prison padre, who is the repository of morality and Christian morality in the film, objects to what's been done to Alex, who's been brainwashed in a very cruel fashion. The Minister of the Interior rises and he said, "Padre, it works." And I can hear Jack Straw, I can hear William Whitelaw, I can hear Michael Howard in those accents. And I think that that's what people will hear when they see the film today.
Perhaps that's one reason why no politician will be interviewed for this programme.
That could very well be one reason why no politician wishes to be interviewed for this programme.
There were allegations that it had invited or stimulated some yob gangs to behave in an imitative way. What we don't know at this distance is how true that was. As a regulator over a very long period of time, one thing I have learned is that it's not uncommon for somebody who finds himself in the dock to say, "Well, Gov, it's not my fault. I saw this movie or I saw this television programme and I was led to it by what I saw." And it's quite possible that there was an element of that, particularly with Clockwork Orange.
There is always this worry with images that they do make you want to go out and copy what you've just seen. I can remember as a child going out and copying things that I'd seen on Z cars. And, fortunately it wasn't murdering anybody, but it was copying. And this made Burgess disapprove of elements in the film, and it made Kubrick, I think, worry when there were reports. Probably, it seems wrong, in fact, these reports of acts of violence that had been inspired by A Clockwork Orange. It made him worry, and I think, maybe we've still not resolved this all this years later.
I don't feel that violence in the media causes violence. On the contrary, I feel that it causes passivity and inaction and paralysis. A far more serious cultural problem to me.
Whether there is a connection between the violence that we see on the contemporary screen and the violence that occurs in society is something that is not susceptible to objective proof.
This attempt to blame art for human evil founders very quickly. The Bible has inspired more acts of violence than any one single piece of literature, yet it's still revered and widely read. It's a preposterous argument, it seems to me.